You're listening to the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan. As always, joined by Callum. How you going, Callum?
I'm okay.
All right. Alan can't be here because of work, and James is in Europe. But we are joined by two special guests, Matt Mirams.
Correct.
And Jeanette Coppolino.
Yes.
How are you two doing today?
Fabulous.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Are
Good.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
The filmmakers behind Resonance, which is a movie we've talked about on the last couple episodes, I believe.
Yes, you have.
So, do you want to just introduce yourselves and the movie, I guess, to start off the show?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure.
You go.
What, me?
Yeah.
Can I just put in here, Matt?
Yes.
I'm not too familiar with Jeanette's work, but I know Matt, and I don't want Matt to sell himself short here in the studio. He's not just the director of Residence. He also did that fantastic short film we talked about a while ago.
The Grand Scheme.
Yeah, The Great Scheme. So I think...
Great or grand?
Grand. Sorry.
Grand.
If both of you guys might just, bring us up to speed like we did with P. Williams last week, about what your career's leading up to Residence. Because both of you have had an interesting career so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we'll start with Matt then.
Sorry, Nathan.
So I guess I started at school, and I'm 23 now, and no,
Me
sorry,
too, Matt.
Sammy.
Don't worry.
maybe 49. Started making films in school, and then that sort of carried on, and my group at school were all artists and just kind of like, come on, you're in this film, say these lines. I know you're bad at acting, but come on. And then, I grew up in Mount Eliza, and we used to have these massive premieres at the Mount Eliza Community Centre and have like 100, 200 people there, black-tie event, and we just had a ball with it. Had the movie, the 20-minute movie, the making of, and then the awards show, and yeah, it was incredible. I kept going and making film after film and television pilots and music videos and acting in theatre and stand-up and performing guitar and singing. So basically
it's a
everything.
multifaceted career.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not any good at any of them, but I did it all.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but my father used to run a video store in the 80s.
Oh, peak.
Oh.
Yeah. I know, I saw that.
Peak video store.
Blockbuster.
Callum's wearing his Blockbuster t-shirt.
Love it. But I used to watch everything. And I think my dream was always to make a feature film. And I've probably got about 10 feature film scripts. And I remember back in the year 2000, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to do one. And I thought, no. You've got to hone your skills. You can't just go straight into it and make it. And that's what I've been doing all these years and making films like The Grand Scheme and Kevin Is Fighting Chance, all these films that have done really well at festivals. And then I think just before COVID hit, I thought, no, now's the time. And I had Resonance as a short film, and I started writing and turning into a feature film. And it was 2020 where I met Jeanette and cast her, and not in the lead role because it's gone through 40 drafts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot's changed. And then Jeanette came on as a co-producer as well, and then we just started filming. I've come so far, I don't remember what the question was.
I think you covered it.
Yeah. Was it what am I having for dinner?
How about you, Jeanette? Is this your... I'm sorry, my mind is terrible. My memory's terrible. Is this your first feature? A lead actress in a feature film?
It's the first one that's been screened. I've done a couple of others that are still in post-production and... that are still, in post. So I was filming one around a similar time to when Residence first started, but they were also working on a couple of features. So it's just taken a while. But I started doing a bit of acting, not so seriously in high school, just with like school productions, and then got into theatre while I was at uni doing my teaching degree, just sort of got more into doing short films for uni projects, and just really loved being on set. So did quite a lot of extra work, and then built my way up. Did like some full-time study for acting, some short courses, and came across. So in one of my courses, I was my teacher was Kim Valentine, who played Libby in Neighbours for a couple of decades, and she's in the film as well. She plays Connie, and so she said to me during one of our classes that she has a friend that's making a film, and there was this role that she thought I would be good for if I wanted to audition. So yeah, I contacted Matt and sent in my self-tapes because it was all the fun COVID times then. No in-person auditions at that point.
November.
But yeah, so I sent some self-tapes in, and they contacted me probably a couple of months later to let me know that I had gotten the role of Nissa.
A couple of months?
Oh, yeah.
Was it a couple of months?
No.
Was it a long time later?
No, it was in November.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like a week later.
Oh, was it? That soon? Are you sure?
Yeah, because we were casting.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but
No, because I remember you said you saw quite a lot of people for Nissa. Or were they all just before me and I was like one of the last ones maybe?
I saw a few people,
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
time flowed differently back in the COVID times.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt like an eternity.
It's funny you say about there were actors from Neighbours in the film. It's funny because I don't really watch Neighbours, but one of our friends who was at the premiere, he did. So we're standing there awkwardly in the corner, looking like gremlins from the northern suburbs. And everyone looked beautiful in their suits and all this. And then he keeps pointing people out. He's like, "Oh, that's that person from this and this." And I'm like, I wish I knew because I'd be more starstruck. I feel like I missed out on something.
The experience as a whole.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's like pointing these people out. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think the biggest was Harold. I mean, not Harold, Ian.
Ian Smith.
Ian Smith, yeah. A few people from my groups that were there, they were like, is that Harold from Neighbours? I'm like, yeah, it is. So yeah, that was very cool.
So what's Resonance about? Tell us about Resonance for the audience who hasn't already listened 16 times as we've talked about it.
Well, it's very broad, okay, and that's what I wanted to do is a film that was fun or fantastic.
You'll get that when you watch it.
Yeah.
Those boys have seen it. No, I wanted to make something that was just, there was so much in there. Like, it wasn't just a horror movie. It was like I'm mixing two horror subgenres together, like the zombies and the slasher. And there was comedy and there's drama, a little bit rom-com. There is everything in there. So it caters for everyone. I think it was one of you guys that actually said there was stuff that you laughed at and there was other stuff you didn't find funny, but other people did. Who said that?
I think that was me.
Yeah.
And like I said when we were talking about it, I think that's important because a lot of comedies, like especially the big comedies, they only have like one or two joke types and they really lean into that.
Yeah.
And that's great if you like that specific style of humor. But if you don't, it's like you're not really going to get a lot out of it. Whereas one of the benefits of Residence is that because there's all the different types of humors and all the characters interact, all the comedic moments between characters, they're all slightly different. Like there are things that I laughed at that probably people didn't, maybe they didn't get the joke or they didn't think it was funny. But it's very versatile. That's how I describe it. It's like a very versatile sense of humor. And you don't always get that in comedies. Cause I think it's because you have a Zombieland style thing going on, you can play with the surrealness of the dystopian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't really do that in a buddy cop film or whatever. You can have a little zany, a little weird.
Yeah.
Because like the world you're playing in allows for it.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to use that in our future.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just say that again. And
say it into our little recorder here.
Is this recording?
It is.
Oh, well, there you go. Don't worry about that. Are we on the air?
We are on the air.
Yeah.
All right. You should tell me. No, but look, I think even one of you boys was talking about Kevin Smith, the viewer skew.
Yes, the Taika Waititi, Kevin Smith kind of.
Well, what we're doing is actually, look, we didn't want to just do a film. We wanted to create a universe.
Yes.
So the next thing that we're actually, I don't know if we should say it, but
well, you've.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, go. Why not?
So we're working on a series which 8 episodes, and every episode is like a flashback on one of the characters.
That's fun.
Nice.
Like Mikey, who got shot in the eye in the glasses and just would not shut up.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, no spoilers.
Hey,
Matt.
What's the tagline of the film? The body count will be high.
Don't say any more than that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So there's more Tim to look forward to, potentially.
We're
We're not going to press you.
yes, there is.
Does Tim have an episode in the series? Is what they're
yes,
asking. Yeah.
he does. So it's his flashback, like when he lived with his dad's his best friend. His mum and dad look exactly like him.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And
Yeah.
it's just about him creating, and his dad was an inventor as well. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I might have mentioned this when we talked about it. To me, there's like a comic book of this universe. You know what I mean? That's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a film. Like the Scum Pizza, for example. Like it's out of a Kevin Smith Viewer's universe type thing. But it also feels like it could be so much more. Because not every horror film feels like it could be a comic or a novel or a series, for example. Whereas this, it might not have the budget of like, you know, Zombieland, for example.
Yeah.
But it has a creativity behind it that is like almost Zombieland's equal. And I say almost just because of the budget issue. You know, if everybody had $500 million, it's like, you know, suddenly it's not an issue anymore.
Of course.
But like, I want to know more about Scum Pizza, the businesses. I want to know more about the biochemical companies. I want to know more about where, like, you know, the film starts hard. I forget, there's a word for it that our friend James...
I know. I remember you saying it on
Um,
one of the
yeah,
episodes.
yeah.
I
It's
do
still-
listen to you boys. But yeah, I wanted that. I wanted to get straight into
I
the
apologize, by the way, if you have,
action. Why are you apologising?
if you have to listen to this.
No.
Yeah, that's okay.
I forget the word.
That's why I came here, to get an apology.
Everyone hates listening to their own voice.
Yeah.
There's a film term for when you start in the middle of the action, and it always escapes me. James is always the one who has to, you know, just inserts the
What
word.
is it? Help me.
Look, I would have liked some more.
Should we go to a break and come
Yeah,
back? We're going to go
quickly
straight
go,
to a
go,
break.
go,
We're going to
yeah.
play a song now, and we'll come back with you with a word.
I would have liked a little more establishing first, but that's just my personal taste because a lot of people actually prefer the hard start, like especially in horror movies and thrillers, they like to start with, you know, you start with the characters already running from something or have already gone
Yeah.
through something.
But then
Yeah.
maybe it'll make the series more interesting.
Well, that's what I was going to say is like, you know, potentially we could have that establishment as a part of the series. So it's like you can set up this universe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wanted to come straight into it, but people go, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and as soon as we see the child walk
Yeah.
through the door, and then we see...
And it establishes urgency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I love Jeanette's intro. As soon as we see her, she looks dead. She looks like a zombie.
It's that pan shot. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one, going straight over. And as you see
Yeah.
Jeanette,
We're suckers for tracking shots in the studio.
yeah, you love your oneers, don't you?
We do.
Oh, there was a few of
Guilty.
those.
I love doing oneers, man. If you look at all my shorts,
Yeah,
I'll send you a
yeah.
couple more.
Yeah.
There's one short that I did called Kevin Is, which is, I think, like a 7-minute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Did you... the hospital scene. That was
Yes,
like
yeah,
a 5
yeah, we,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
we were
All
very
right, you were there.
Yeah. How many takes of that scene did we do?
21.
21 takes.
Oh, wow.
Of
Oh, wow.
yeah, that was hectic working that out.
Yeah.
So moving on to that issue, like how difficult was it to balance the lines and the tones between the drama, the horror, and the comedy when you were writing it? Like how did you manage to, I guess, work all of those different kind of genres or elements in without it clashing?
It's a very good question, Jeanette.
This is
Well,
you.
it's-
I can help in the Charlie part because
Yeah, okay.
we help Matt in one of the later drafts when I was involved as Nissa.
Well, we wrote Charlie together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically.
So
Looked
yeah.
at Paris, Texas, and a few other movies. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but
Nice, love a
Yeah.
bit of Wim Wenders.
yeah, Wim Wenders.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we knew that there had to be the Charlie and the child had to be the grounded, like this is what's going to sort of drive the film, their stories, I mean, and so they were quite grounded, and yeah, so there was that, and then everything else sort of
Absolutely.
Yeah.
worked
So we've got
around
that as a base,
yeah.
you know, and then we can just sort of chuck a few kooky characters here and a few kooky characters there, and then just
Yeah.
kill them off, and in horrific ways. But no, it's
So it's interesting because we talk about the different genres, I guess, in this film. Was it difficult for you to act Jeanette as Charlie when you're surrounded by all of these colorful and crazy characters. And Charlie's very much a stoic character, very focused on the mission at hand. Was it hard to act around the comedy and not laugh or break? Or
She was the only one that broke.
I feel like yes. So we need a bloopers reel,
Yeah.
and it's all going to be me because I could not control myself the entire.
one.
You've got a blooper, and you
Yeah.
haven't sent it to me.
Not yet.
Matthew Mirams. It's And I find it really hard to contain myself as well, especially when it was like all the one-liners and just like
I would be ad-libbing.
yeah. And so stuff would just come out of his mouth. I'm like, you need to warn me that you're doing stuff like this, otherwise I'm gonna lose it. So yeah, it was pretty tricky, but you know, once you know, especially with the oneers. Like, I remember the one with Lawrence where we got to the very last second of this one-er, and Lawrence had stuffed his face with these cookies and he had crumbs all over his face, and I just lost it because I was like, and I ruined the whole one-er, and we had to do it all over again. And it was like do or die. Like, I had to just not wreck it.
Lawrence is Rongo. And Lawrence has been on all those Step 1 ads and just the sweetest person
Sleeping
in the
Duck
world.
and
Yeah, and you're looking this way, and all of a sudden he's behind you. Are those cookies that had all the maggots and all that sort of stuff over it?
Yeah.
And I think you turned around not expecting he was there.
No.
And then,
Yeah.
you know, but there were lots of moments like that, and it's good. We had fun.
So one of the things that fascinates me about filmmaking, especially independent filmmaking, is they talk about the cost of hard drives. So like if Jeanette laughs during a take, are you thinking, oh no, that's like $100 worth of hard drive space now?
You better not have.
I'm only joking. Because Pete was, I've been thinking about that type of stuff since Pete was talking about like the upfront cost of the media storage. Because of course, not everybody uses reels of film.
Yeah.
It's often hard drives and things like this.
Oh, I've got stacks of them at home. I
Do you
really
actually?
do. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Everything that was shot.
Yeah.
And
I think it was, I mean, I wasn't warned at all about using up too much time and all that, but yeah. Was it an issue for you?
no.
No. Okay, that's good.
I was only joking.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything technical, so I'm taking everything
I
seriously.
love when you started laughing.
Okay, good.
This is the first time we've ever had an actor on the show. We've had a few directors. Which again, thank you guys for being here in our small little show. But I'm interested in the dynamics of the lead actor or actress and like the rest of the ensemble. So it's like, are you like, because we don't know, you know, we talk a lot, but we don't know anything. You know what I mean? Like, are you like the captain of the team? Like, what was your role as the lead? Do you know what I mean? Like, how did you relate to the other cast and crew members? Or is it just, you're just one of the team?
Yeah, I think it was, I didn't think there was a hierarchy as such.
No, we made sure, because Jeanette's a co-producer on the film too.
Yeah.
She's the boss already.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, right?
She is, but what we wanted to instill that, sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
We wanted to just make sure that everyone understood that there was no hierarchy, that background actors were just as important as the lead actors, you know, that everyone knew each other's names.
Yeah.
It's like coming in, you know, at the premiere, I really wanted to know everyone's name coming through that door. So they feel, I don't know, validated, I guess, but, you know, we did that. I made sure that I remembered every background actor's name, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a shitload of people.
That's actually something our favorite actor on the show tries to do with his productions, Tom Cruise. Somewhere James just cringed. No, because we talk about him a lot on the show.
That's class.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, but he remembers and these are big productions, and he'll remember the names of the gaffers, the names of the carpenters on the set, and he'll know the names of their kids, and he'll follow up about a personal issue or whatever.
Yeah,
so I think it brings like a really healthy space to the workplace.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like a family to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it really is, and we try and instill that. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And there was, you know, don't get me wrong, there was days where, like, I love Kim Valentine, and whenever she was on set, I'd be like, she's a bit of a mentor to me, so I would go and ask her, you know, advice on, you know, oh, what should I do about this, or how do you think this should go? And so she was great to have on set. But then, you know, sometimes people would come up to me and ask me stuff like that, and I would go, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, if you want my advice, for sure, I'll try and help you out.
What would Kim say?
Oh, Kim, I adore Kim. So it was just more advice on, obviously because she's so experienced, just with, should I take it this way or should I take it this way? And obviously speaking to Matt about it as well, and then just kind of fusing the two and seeing what we came up with. But just, really supportive of each other. There was never any, what's the word that we used the other day? Like ego. There was no ego whatsoever. Everyone was very, supportive and really
That's
nice
awesome.
to be
Well,
on set
I
with.
made sure that I speak to everyone before, even all the background actors, to make sure that who is this person?
Yeah.
Because I got a duty of care to make sure that,
Yeah.
everyone's sort of
You
protected.
don't want to jerk on set.
No,
No,
100%
man.
you don't.
No, and that's not going to be good if we have someone on there that's a loose cannon. That's going to affect Jeanette's performance or little Ellie's or Ruby's or Harry's or Luke's. So
Well, you don't want people coming to a workplace being stressed, especially if you're an actor.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
blocking, but yeah.
yeah,
Back to the movie. This is one thing I noticed about it, and I want to know if it was intentional or not, was for a post-apocalyptic film environment, it's very supportive. Everyone's trying to help each other survive in a way.
More or less.
You don't see, there's allusions to it, but you don't see raiders or like kind of any of those Mad Max type of villains. Is that intentional, or
yeah,
is that...
of course it was. Yeah,
There are
There's one thing
definitely
that-
people
yeah.
with ulterior motives, but it's not
Yes.
like, usually there'll be like Mad Max people
Yeah.
and like people really trying to hurt other people, whereas this comes off as more optimistic in nature, even if there are people with ulterior motives.
Yeah.
yeah. Look, there is a couple. You got to have your villains and
Eric the Ball.
Eric the Bald. Yeah,
You can say his name.
yeah, I know. But I'm trying to watch it.
I know, yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, but Eric the Bald. I mean, as soon as you see him,
Yeah.
Cyril's going up to him and go, "Pff, Eric's been on a dating site, no matches. Oh my God. I've heard him
Embarrassing.
crying at night. God, I don't think he's happy about
It
it.
looks like he wants to murder you then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you've got to have one character like that.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
and
But
Yeah.
like as a whole, though, it's not like the dystopian kind of
No.
tribal element that most post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
movies have.
Yeah.
no, not. I wanted this to be more communities. Everyone's helping each other. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, we're in this. What's our purpose? You know, what's our reason to
Yeah, which
keep
makes
moving
it
forward? and-
feel a bit fresher because it's
Yeah.
not like a Walking Dead situation where if you walk into this neighborhood, you have to worry about the people and the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah,
two.
the people are, yeah.
Well, I've been writing number 2,
Oh.
As well
Yeah.
as the series.
So that might
And the
change.
series.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
but
Similarly to with that sort of flipped version of this type of film, I guess it was also, usually with this type of stuff, you have the majority of the group is sort of more grounded, and you might have like a wacky character that stands out. So we sort of flipped that as well, where everyone's sort of kooky and a bit out there, and you have just the one or two characters that
Yes.
are more grounded. So
Yeah, like Wilhelmina.
well, I kind of
Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina. Well, I
Yeah.
wanted to, like, when my character comes out, you go, oh shit, who's this guy? He looks scary.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I'm going,
Yeah.
The
have
music.
they been bitten? Have they been bitten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have by the fun bug, and then do the laugh.
And the laugh.
Yeah,
the theatrical being laugh.
I was so happy when I heard that laugh. I was
Yes.
like, this is a man who knows his Renaissance King laughs.
Yes, 100%.
So, have you seen Amadeus? Tom
Oh,
Hulse?
Nice.
No,
Yes.
I haven't.
Yeah, no.
Yes, I've
Well,
seen it.
It's kind of taken a little bit from that, and Toast of London. Have you seen Matt
No.
Berry's Toast of London? Okay, well, it's an amalgamation of
Yeah.
few sort of
It's-
characters.
Yeah, that laugh is always peak kind of comedy king laugh.
100%.
It's,
Yeah.
on that note, you've done a lot of theatre. How much of this script was influenced by your theatre? Because I feel like the rhythm of the script can feel a bit theatrical. Is that on
The
purpose, or is
dialogue,
it just
some of it,
does it
yeah.
just bleed
sure.
out of your subconscious?
So one of the other producers, Tim Long, and I, we were doing podcasts like 2010, and we did one called Undead Forever, which was a zombie kind of film. And a couple of those ideas came into resonance, which was like Donald and Tim. Yeah, and a lot of that was like, did you know this?
No,
Okay, should have told you.
I did not.
Yeah. So we got a lot of ideas from that, but it'd be also me just on the phone, just recording it and going, The Empire Strikes Back, and I'd just be coming out with stuff, and then I'd write most of it down in pages and go, get rid of that. And I wasn't going to play the king. I only did it when 2 other actors couldn't do it.
I think you nailed it.
Me too.
It feels like a very theatrical performance.
Well, I wrote it, you know, and I've played characters like that on stage before in English farces, where it's like, okay, well, blah 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 blah, you know, just in one or out the other, you know, very fast, and I've done the laugh before on stage as well, which always gets a massive laugh. So when in doubt, if the play's not going so well, just chuck a laugh in.
It's an interesting script. I never really think about these things from an actor's point of view. So you kind of answered the question already, so I apologize, but it's something I'm really interested in. You said it was like a collaborative experience making Charlie with between you, Jeanette, and Matt. Was there any moment where you were reading the script and you thought, this doesn't feel authentic to Charlie? Because you've heard stories from, you know, big movies where an actor said, my character would never say or do this.
Yes.
And then there's been a bit of tension between the director, the writer.
Can I answer that? So there was moments like that, but it got to a point where Jeanette knew the character way better than I did, you know, so it's kind of like Jeanette would go, yeah, no, I don't. We were out in the countryside.
Yes, that's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so there was there's a scene in the countryside where I'm walking, just me and the child, Allie, and she starts crying and I've got to sort of confront her, and there was lots of sort of technical little things where, you know, Matt said, okay, we're going to start with you standing up and then you're going to bob down and finish bobbing down in front of her. And I was like, I feel like I got to win her over first. I got to bob down first and then I got to stand up slowly. And so we for sure would have those discussions. They mostly happened on set. We didn't really, everything was ironed out sort of during the writing and all that, where it all did feel quite authentic anyway.
Yeah.
But then when you're actually on set and doing it, sometimes things can feel, you know, not quite right, or that didn't feel like Charlie, like exactly what you were saying. And even, you know, we cut that line at the end of that scene too, because there was the joke about my partner and I used to run the navigation classes or something like that, remember?
Okay. Yeah.
And we cut that line because I'm like, Charlie wouldn't say that. In this moment right here, Charlie just would not say that. And he was like, yeah, cool, get rid of it. Yeah. So we were really lucky with each other that we had that relationship, that we trusted each other with the characters. And I think it all worked out pretty well, all the little changes and stuff that we made, I think.
I love all the classes. So so Charlie always go. And my ex-boyfriend and I ran educational classes on gunplay, and it was just so Charlie could do anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to hear you guys talk about it, because it really brings out that movies are such a collaborative process. Because it's like when you're in the moment and you're making something, it's like it's no longer just Matt's vision. It's also Jeanette's, and you guys are like working it out together. Even though it might be Matt's brainchild, it's like suddenly there's more people involved in Matt's baby, Matt's idea. Is it hard for you to relinquish control?
No, it's not my baby. It's sort of our baby, and that's what I tell everyone if they're coming on. It's not my film. It's our film.
Yeah, there are some directors who absolutely hate it.
Yeah,
and they take it personally.
I don't understand, because I'm bringing all these talented people on board. What am I going to go? No, it's my way or the highway. It's like, what ideas have you got?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of know where this goes, but if you've got something better than what I've got, share it. Share it.
You never see your own blind spots, do you? You know what I mean?
So
like,
true.
were there any moments when you were acting Jeanette and then someone, like another actor, was like, have you thought about this or doing it this way? Or were you just like, no, I'm the alpha here?
No, I think
She would just go to a trailer.
Yeah, and have a good cry and throw a few
out.
things around. No, I didn't have... I mean, the only person that really would suggest things to me would be Matt as the director, obviously. But even then it was sort of like, okay, we've done it this way, let's try this just to see how it goes. But yeah, I think there's not really that... how am I trying to say it? Like we didn't sort of encroach on anyone else's performance. It's like, that's your character. You do with it what you need to. If Matt wants something different from it, then give that a go. I would ask for advice from Matt and Kim. But other than that, everyone was quite, sort of respectful of each other's characters.
Also, it's not a big budget film. So the Broadmeadows Town Hall, like, we shot that in 2 days. We shot the Donald stuff that way in July, and then this way we shot in February the next year. But that way we had it for 4 hours, and it cost a lot of money.
Yeah, well,
So
I don't know if you know this, but they filmed the Gotham TV show there as well.
Oh, what?
and
You know
clickbait.
The police
clickbait,
the police
yeah.
station in the Gotham TV show.
Yeah.
That's Broady Town Hall. Apparently, it's famous because it's so you can like modify it like so easily.
What?
And when we were watching the premiere, I'm so glad I didn't, but I almost went Broady.
Oh, God, you
'cause,
should
like,
have.
it's such a thrill.
I would have paused the film, put the
yeah.
lights on, and go, right, who did that?
Who was that? Stand up. There you
Come here.
go. I did not know that.
There you go.
So interesting.
Shout out to Broady Town Hall.
That's it.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back with more from Matt and Jeanette after these quick messages. You are back on the Tuesday review with Matt and Jeanette.
G'day.
Talking Resonance.
Resonance, yeah.
All right, so
Aye.
we've just been describing kind of, you know, the film and the production behind the film and Broady Town Hall, which we love in the studio because that's where we transmit from.
That's right.
Podcast from.
Yep.
Going back to the film, also Alum says, thank you for the representation. He feels seen because of Donald.
I know, I heard that.
He was so happy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before we continue, there's a really funny thing we were talking about. I can't remember if we talked about it on air or off air. Was that men exist on a spectrum of? Is it Gary? Who's that pervert knight?
Gary the bald?
Yeah,
Eric.
Oh, Eric
Sorry,
the Bald.
Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
From one spectrum is Eric, and then Luke Benson on the other end.
Yeah,
Tim.
literally.
Where do you feel, Matt? You exist on that spectrum?
Seriously?
Ooh.
Whose question's this?
Because when I was watching the film, every time Luke Benson was on the screen, I was like,
We're
lit
all
up.
we're all Tim. Yeah.
Tim
Yeah.
was just no offense, Jeanette, but
No.
like Tim was like my favorite character because he just brought something so awkward that I felt
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm a very awkward guy myself.
I love that.
It's a bit of a joke question, but I think it's funny because it's like two spectrums of malehood, if you know what I mean. You have like the toxic
Yeah.
end on one end, and then just the guy who wants to be loved, the awkward guy on the.
I'm
on
in the
other
middle.
end.
No, I don't think you have any of that toxicity.
Are you kidding?
No. Wait, are we saying the character or Matt?
Me?
Well,
Are we
Matt.
talking about me?
Matt as a person? Yeah, no. I mean, you know you better than I do. This is your question. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I mean,
It was just a joke question, but
No,
I just
no,
think
it's
it's funny that you have two guys who are so diametrically opposed in the way they view the world.
Mm.
Because Tim's such a nice guy. I want to see more of him, but I'm sorry.
you
I don't
should
wanna,
have him on the show.
Everyone
oh,
adores
we would love
Tim.
to have him.
He would love to come on. He looks,
I don't want to derail the episode just by talking about
How much we
Tim.
love Tim.
Should we call him? Should we call your boyfriend?
have his number.
Hi, look, we're on the air, but what you doing?
Boys want to
Oh,
talk.
he's so funny.
So, like, going back to, we're talking about the script and the kind of collaborative process, especially you had a good process with Charlie where you felt comfortable being able to kind of say, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. How much, at the end result of the movie, how close does it resemble the actual final draft of the script that you wrote? Did it change much during production?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
There's just a lot less in the film, I think.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the ending of the film.
No, we won't do that.
But maybe another time, because
Oh, that's the main story of the main change. Yeah.
we were talking about that for days beforehand.
That's all right, fair enough. When it's maybe more available widely, we can revisit that.
Yeah.
Yes.
In one comment I had, we talked about this previously, but we really liked the transitions and the flashbacks.
The
flashbacks were probably me, Callum, and Alan's favourite parts of the movie.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was so worried that when we got up to there, like the pacing would stop. You know, pace, stop, and then. But I was doing films back in the 90s, and I was making these good guys, bad guys, no one makes it to the end of the film alive kind of thing, but there'd always be flashbacks. I love those flashbacks.
I think they're important because they flesh out the characters a little bit more. You get to see
100%.
in their mind behind the scenes, you know, like what kind of character are they, especially when you're dealing with an end of the world type situation.
Tim's, I think, was the first one. And we put a lot of work into that.
We
and the
died
posters.
doing that scene.
man.
He was just like zoning out, waiting for someone to come up and ask about a vacuum.
And then he
Yeah.
turns
Yeah.
on.
The-
Yeah,
I'm like,
just
that
like
is
a
my
switch,
life
yeah.
at work. I'm just standing there like a robot until someone asks for help.
That's
Yeah.
what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, just da da da. Oh, hi.
Yeah, that's it. Switch on. But they were all good.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they added so much more to the film. It's not really a question, just a comment that I really appreciated that in the movie as well.
Yeah, me too. The actual filmmaking involved, the same pose and then transitioning from present to past,
Yeah.
gorgeous to watch.
So it's basically
Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
KJ in the truck should put her head down.
Yes.
And then bang should come up.
Yeah.
In the flashback, yeah.
In the flashback.
Yes.
It was
And
so tastefully done.
I love
Yeah.
her flashback
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
she had a cool
love
flashback.
KJ and Charlie's relationship
Mm.
where they just hate each other but slowly come around, and these two together are incredible. But I love seeing KJ back there, which is hair shorter, very sweet, loves her boyfriend. Her boyfriend doesn't love her much, but it just shows that side.
And
where-
how people have become to be how they are
Yeah,
in
hardened.
that time frame.
Yeah.
Hardened, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they added so much to the film, and that's why we'd point that out again for
Yeah.
listeners.
On a similar note, how much footage got left on the cutting room floor? Like, you've only got a certain amount of time when you make a movie, whether it's time to film or editing and so on. Are there any scenes that you really liked, but this didn't make sense to keep in the film? And it's like, if these scenes are never going to see the light of day, can you give them a brief description?
So there was this sex scene that it went on too long. And I don't think 35 minutes is too long, but it just kept going on. And look, so
That might have altered the rating of the film a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
it was pretty hardcore. It was nuts. So Sean Lander, who edited Kenny, edited Residence.
Yep.
And I think our first cut was 2 hours and 45 minutes. Most of it was me because I would
Yapped on.
ad-lib. Yeah. But there was other scenes.
I don't think whole scenes got cut out. I think it was just parts of each scene, like parts that obviously because the first cut was so long, we just sort of said, okay, where in the film in each scene, like there was so much more to the bunker scene that we just had to say, no, we need to cut that right down. So each individual scene got workshopped down.
Was that tough for you to have to cut know that your performances are being trimmed? Or is it one of those things where you just have to give up control?
Yeah, and I think as long as it's still serving the story, as long as you're not losing anything that is paramount to the story, it's fine. But I feel like it just would have been too much to have it all in there, and to really service the film, we needed to,
Well, there is a director's cut coming out.
Well, there we go.
2026. So
that makes us laugh because I think the Emotion is Dead, the last indie Aussie movie we talked about, Pete was saying like his first cut was 94 minutes and they trimmed it down to 89. I'm like, that's already tight.
Yeah.
This is a bit longer. I don't actually know how long is the runtime of
we're
Resident
2 hours and 14 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm like, obviously there's kind of just like you didn't want to cut any scenes at all.
Well, I mean, a lot of distribution guys who I've spoken to over the years go, make sure it's an hour and a half. I'm going, no.
Yeah, not every movie needs to be.
No, it doesn't.
right,
As long
yeah.
as it's pacey,
Yeah.
as long as it's funny, entertaining,
Yeah.
we're just going to keep it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Sean and I were, we were snipping bits here and there and a word here. We just, I think it's...
And I think, but there is something good about the longer film. Like, you get to take your time and explore that world. And a lot of the Aussie movies we've seen recently are like that hard 90 minutes, 89 minutes. And they're fine, but we are kind of left wondering what's left, what else could have been in the film, what's left on that cutting room floor.
Yeah.
And we said the other week, we've seen a couple of the Bollywood films at our local Hoyts in Broadmeadows.
Yeah.
And they're all like 4 hours long and they have the intermission in the middle.
Yeah.
Wow.
They pack out cinemas everywhere.
Yeah.
Depending on the area and the clientele.
For sure.
But I'm like, so there is, I guess, it's just the culture. People are expected to not want to see a movie longer than 90 minutes.
You go back to the 90s, even the 2000s, it's like it wasn't uncommon for a movie to be 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Of course.
No,
Of
that's
course.
right.
I think audiences now it's Netflix, got to have something on the background, just quick popcorn movie in and out.
That's exactly what's
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Over COVID, is people just sort of watching it and then getting to the credits and they've forgotten what they've watched.
Yeah.
Where I don't want that. I want to make a epic of a film. That's why I've got Hugh Wagner doing the music. What do you think of music?
Music was good.
Music is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that man. He's incredible. Like his
Yeah.
scores. Yeah.
He's
Anyway,
great.
yeah, he's phenomenal.
But so I think, as you wanted to talk about the scene of the state of the Australian kind of indie scene a little bit, we'll come back to that in a second. But a couple other questions we had about the film. How was your expectation? Did your expectations, I guess, were they met, or was it a different experience making a short film versus the feature? What was unexpected during filmmaking for you in that way, if anything?
Well, it was longer.
Yeah, were there any unforeseen challenges? Like, because I'm fascinated.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, but just in terms of the making of it, like if you think about like short fiction versus
No.
like, it's like the same
Well,
thing, just at a bigger scale.
At a bigger scale. So we spent a year and a half filming, and the reason for that is we did a scene, and then I'd have to go paint a couple of houses or clean or whatever, forklift drive, just to get more money. And then I go, okay, this is our next date. This is when I'm going to have more money. We went to every film finance company in this country. We spoke to a lot of investors. Those investors said, can you guarantee that we'll get our money back? And we'd say, we can't.
Like
Yeah.
we were talking to Pete last week, and he said, 99% of all movies don't make their money back. It's a silly question.
It is, but,
It's
that's
become
why there's
such a
no Australian
business.
film industry.
Yeah, it's become such a business, and
Yeah.
it's kind of painful because Australia never really. We had the Ozploitation period,
And the 90s were huge too.
but we kind of dropped off a bit, and it's like now there's so many talented filmmakers, but like often like Pete Williams, for example, he told us that he went to America and he did stuff in Europe or whatever. It's like he kind of got a bit more influence there, and then he came back. You can't, like Nick Cave famously talks about, he couldn't get big in Australia until he went to America. It's like Australia's a difficult place to make things, not because there's no talent here, but just because it seems like the business attitude in Australia
It's
is very
near
stiff.
impossible.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
near impossible.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't, sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was just saying, like Pete said that like he couldn't promise his actors very much money. In fact, I think he said they're doing revenue sharing with the revenue of the film, not the profit, because he says he's probably never going to get profit in the technical sense, because like we were saying, there's not a lot of money in. It's a strange thing to say. There's not a lot of money in movies, and then you see reports about a film will make like $200 million in a weekend,
Yeah.
but then some people will never get royalty checks because in the balance book it never made a profit because there's all these tax write-offs and things and what have you.
Well, not a lot of people got paid. Like
Yeah.
no actors got paid because I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So basically, I sat down with everyone. I said, this is the deal. I was hoping to get funding, but how about I just put all my chips in the middle and just go, all right, let's do it. I'll put everything in. I'll sell stuff, and I've sold stuff on Marketplace just to get money to keep putting it in.
Yeah.
And so, everyone knew that I was doing it hard. I was working 7 days last year doing forklift driving Monday to Friday and then painting on the weekend. It's not much of a life, but you know what? I made
You're
a
chasing
film.
your dream. Yeah, that's it.
I made a film. I'm not
That's it.
complaining.
No.
But it was tough. I broke down a couple of times, to be honest with you.
And
But
that's
wish it was
what's
easier.
that's what we're finding interesting about the state of the Australian film industry right now, that it's actually doing. People are making movies, and they're making really good movies despite these challenges.
Yeah.
And like you look at, say, Talk to Me, that's a bit different because that's an A24 movie,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they were just YouTubers before that film.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've got a few good movies at MIF have come out this year that are fantastic. Small, local, no-budget films like Flathead, The Demon Disorder, Bird Eater, was MIF last year. Emotion is Dead, Residence. So despite, I guess, all of these challenges, we're still getting really good Australian movies. And it's like there's a new wave of these films coming out.
Yeah, and like a lot of them are in the same boat as you guys, where it's like they're just trying to make their dream come true.
Yeah.
And then they end up releasing, some people are lucky and they get picked up, some people aren't so lucky. But I think it's a tough thing to navigate because, like, I suppose we don't know what it's like in America or in Europe, but in Australia, I can't remember if it was you who said this to Nathan or if it was someone else we talked to. Things just get picked up by Stan or they go somewhere else, and there's not really much of an industry in the sense that like we couldn't go to see like, for example, residents wouldn't come to our local Hoyts, for example, because it's like there's not really anyone to pick that up because we only have the big chains.
Yeah.
And like 8 of those screens have to screen Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's
what
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
How would people? I mean, like, I'm 49, so the 90s were huge. Like, there was no streaming, so I used to go to the cinema all the time, and I used to love seeing Aussie films and The Castle and Two Hands, and there was Romper Stomper and Priscilla and Muriel's Wedding, and there was just so many, and they were great.
Yeah.
And they're all fun movies, and that's what I wanted to do with Residents, was actually make something that was fun. It's a little bit, anyway, I won't try not to spoil anything, but there are a lot of laughs, weren't there?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
It was consistent. I was consistently chuckling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Not
that.
chuckling more at some jokes than others, as we discussed
Of
before,
course,
but
yeah.
consistently entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a few jokes that I had laughing my ass off.
Yeah. Which ones? No.
There's the
what I was about
tracking
to say.
the tracking shot with Eric when he was looking at Charlie walk away. I laughed at that. Was funny.
Yes. Yes. When everyone thinks he's checking her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Luke Benson, Tim, I should say, his flashback, hilarious.
Yeah.
The scene
Him
with
and Donald in the police
him and
station.
Donald in the police
Donald.
station
Oh.
was amazing.
Classic.
The
So
air
good.
supply, I laughed at that. Like, the kids aren't going to know who air supply is. I'm sorry, Matt.
It's fine.
But I thought it was funny, just the fact that he's like, I've got an air supply CD.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
no,
of
no.
all the
Tape.
things.
Tape, yeah. I thought that was surprisingly wholesome.
Yeah.
And just him looking nervously at the obviously infected woman. You know,
Yes.
the love of his life. I thought that was funny.
Becky
too.
Taylor.
Yeah.
She has a name.
She's not just some bitey.
And the very Mel Brooks ball and chain joke I laughed at.
Oh, really?
Oh, that was
Great.
I,
Yeah,
I
the
always
old ball and
loved
chain,
that
and then
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That scene went for another 2 or 3 minutes.
Mm.
And do you remember? Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
It just went on and on and on, and I really wanted to keep that, 6
So
minutes
I
in
think
there.
we do need the director's cut
But
now.
Yeah.
Sean, the editor, just goes, "Look, we've really got to start cutting it down." I'm like,
Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay.
yeah,
You could release it in black and white and call it the Mirams cut.
yeah,
Oh.
nice.
I like it.
Well, I've got them all. Anyway. Yep.
Yeah.
What's I guess we'll end with our kind of general questions. We ask all our guests. What's one lesson that you wish you'd learned before making this movie?
That's deep.
I don't think there is any, because I went into it going, okay, the ending was just so far away that I thought if I start thinking of that, then I probably won't do it. So I'm just going to stop. I've done so many films. I know what I'm doing. I knew all my shots, everything like that. I was happy with the script that we kept working on all the time. But I don't know. As we just went on, it got halfway and I thought, I can't turn back now. I can't.
Sunken cost, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and that kept me going. And I didn't want to let anyone down. That was the other thing that I had hanging over. So that was, kind of full on. But we did it. And, and the premiere was quite emotional for both of us,
It was packed.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
it were Coppolinos.
Yeah, I am.
I got a big family and friends. I'm sorry.
They would rock up and go, Coppolinos? Yep, okay.
I mean, yeah, there was a little bit of I'm losing the word. We're claustrophobic in that the foyer, the lobby.
Yeah.
We took our seats.
How nice is the Capitol? I'm sorry.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
it's such a nice,
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a nice theater.
Oh, it was so pretty in there.
And then we took our seats, and then I went down to go to the toilet before the movie started, and I was like standing room only. I'm like, oh my god, am I ever going to get back to my seat? I couldn't believe
Will I
it.
get to see the film?
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to be stuck in a line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy about that line. They should have had more people on at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would thought with the expectation of 400 people.
Yeah, I've already spoken to the Capitol about it. I wasn't too happy.
Yeah.
But it's not the Capitol's fault. It's
no.
they're another company.
Yeah.
Because I wanted people mingling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's right, they were
in
mingling in line.
Oh, right. Yeah. Not too happy.
What was the experience of organizing the world premiere? Like how was that for you logistically? Was it like I'm just trying to think, like, in my perspective, it was probably really hard because, like, how did you organize the theater? How, like, the invites, how was your experience? I mean, for both of you guys, what was your experience going into that?
Well, one of the other producers, Bree, she suggested it, and then we got onto them and went back and forth and worked out a price, and then it was okay. It was like, okay, well, I've got all the credit, so I know who I'm going to invite, and everyone that helped over those years, everyone. So I made sure I invited everyone, and then we thought, okay, well, what are we going to do? Okay, well, let's do the media wall. You know, let's have Hugh's music playing, you know, on the speakers, and
the photo montage.
Photo montage, yeah. Yeah, look, there was stressful part. There's stressful parts with everything. You know, look,
but it came together to the way you expected.
It did,
right?
absolutely, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I wasn't freaking out all the time.
Yeah.
And I have been over the past 4 years while this film has been made. But I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change the journey. Everything came. I met this one. I met Fab and Tim and Conrad and Andrew, just our beautiful crew that we will have on every shoot that we do now. And we've got short films, we've got this series, and we've got Residence 2 and Residence 3.
Oh.
And I know exactly where it's going. So we've done the treatments. So like and I've got a couple of other features as well. So we've got stuff lined up. It's just if anyone out there has a spare $10 million, just call us now on 555.
If we win Powerball, I'll text you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. I'll
That's
be
what
looking.
we're-
I'll be
that's what
waking
we're
up every
relying on the
morning.
lottery.
Going,
We're relying on the lottery,
That's
guys.
What about you, Jeanette? What's kind of the biggest lesson, I guess, you took away from making this movie?
I think I mean, this is the first thing I have co-produced or produced at all. So it was very interesting to see something from start to finish, because as an actor, you usually come onto projects where everything's sort of in place and ready to go, and you just kind of go on, do it, and then you're out, and that's it. So for me to number one, be involved in rewriting Charlie, and then being offered the role for Charlie after we had after I'd helped Matt do some research for her, that was huge. And then just to see the ins and outs of what it really takes to get just one day of filming down is crazy, and how much, you know, you're there for a whole day, and it can be like 30 seconds of footage that you end up using, you know. So for me, it was just, I have a whole new respect for the filmmaking process as a whole, other than just going in and acting in it. And then I think for me it's more performance stuff that I watched myself at the end and I'm like, oh my God, I did that, or I looked like that while I did that. And it was just, as you guys mentioned, you don't like listening to the sound of your voice. I hate watching myself on screen. I love doing it. It's the best when I'm there on set. It feels so good. It's like my favorite thing ever to do. But then, going into the premiere, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to look at myself. Yeah.
That's quite common. That's quite common. You hear about big actors will never watch their films.
I wasn't like that at all. I just wanted to point that out.
You're like, it's my turn. Everyone quiet. I'm on now.
Stop laughing.
But I think it was more just my own personal, I'd look at my performance and be like, okay, next time maybe I don't need to show as much on my face, which is hard because I'm very expressive anyway, theatre background. But just little things for myself, like, okay, well, that's the camera picks up so much, whereas theatre you really have to project it to make sure you get the person in the back of the room. But film's very different to that.
All right, another question we ask everyone: gut feel. What's your favorite movie? We'll start with Matt.
No thinking about it.
Favorite film?
Yeah.
Barton Fink.
Okay.
Nice.
Coen Brothers.
Yes, nice.
Yep.
Favorite movie, Jeanette?
Hacksaw Ridge.
I just watched-
Interesting.
With
take.
Andrew-
Okay.
yesterday.
With Andrew
Fair enough.
Garfield?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we saw that movie,
It's an answer.
Yeah.
it's an answer. I'll take it.
Yeah, good, thank you.
We should have a talk after
Yeah,
this.
great, okay.
That's a whole different episode.
Yeah.
I went back with Doctor.
That's-
Sorry.
We saw that movie with obstructed viewing.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Went to High Point Hoyts, and they put us in a cinema, and there was a giant pole in front of us. And we were like, cool. And they wouldn't change our seats.
What?
Yeah, very weird.
That was just a very weird random experience.
That
Wow.
is
With Hacksaw
very
Ridge,
weird.
Yeah. There you go.
Interesting.
Many years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and,
So
and
rich.
quick shout out to just Broadmeadows because you don't like they put a lot of money and effort into restoring that cinema.
Yes, there's no load. There's no load bearing structures
Yeah,
in the middle of the
no, like Broadmeadows is it kind of has a poor reputation as being like a bit of a rough area. But that cinema, they put so much money into that. It's one of the nicest cinemas you can possibly go to. This isn't an ad for Broadmeadows,
We're just saying.
but it's like you go to these upper class areas and their cinemas are kind of just awful. And then you go to
Yeah.
our local, which is like the rougher one, and it's like every seat's recliner and leather, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
very clean. There's no graffiti on the screens, which is a tough ask for some cinemas.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, moving on.
Hi, interesting. I need to go.
Before we run
Apologies.
out of time, what's the future looking like for Residents? Because obviously we're talking about it, we've seen it, but no one in the audience or no one listening has seen it. So are we going to get a chance to see it in the future? Well, in the near future?
Well, yeah. So at the moment, we're adding a few more VFX shots and sound design, mix it again, and then get it classified, and that's going to cost like $2,700.
Just for the classification.
Yeah, I'm almost swear.
Yeah.
I
Almost
swore
so
then,
close
yeah.
to swearing,
Like,
guys.
I don't understand that indie films under a certain budget should be cheaper or something. I've got to still work, another couple
Yeah.
of months just to get that film.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, get that money just to get it
Yeah.
classified. But
We did a whole episode years ago on classification
Yeah.
in Australia and America, and the whole thing is a scam, basically.
Oh yeah,
They're all run,
scam.
especially in America. They're all run by the studios,
the MPAA.
the MPAA, and then if you're a big director for like Spielberg is notoriously exempt. He'll put what he wants on the screen, and they'll just give him a PG-13.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
this because he's Spielberg, you can't say
Yeah,
no
of course,
to,
no.
to Spielberg.
Yeah.
And there's examples that they can show this. There's videos that show this. Like he'll do what he wants, and then he'll get away with it. And then you'll put in a review with like nothing offensive, and they'll give it an M
Yeah, for themes.
for themes. And it's like, it's just influence, and it's kind of just like the studios looking after themselves and
Yeah.
punishing anything that's kind of independent.
I mean,
So it's
even-
not new.
Even in
Those-
Australia, we've for a long time, not to get political, but for a long time we were under the Liberal Party. We've been under the Liberal Party before, under Howard and all that kind of thing. But it's like I don't want to use the term nanny state, but when it comes to the way Australians consume media, for example, in video games and things like that, we were never allowed to have an adult game. It always had to get reclassified down to MA, so they would take things out of the game or force extra dubbing in over swear words, that type of thing. And even with movies, they don't like to have like really tough content in films. It's getting better now, but it's like it's a frustrating scene, the Australian film industry, because like you can't have auteur directors really pushing that extra bit. It's changing now because because of Netflix and streaming and the for lack of a better word, democratization of filmmaking. Like cameras are cheaper now. You don't have to go out and buy the big film cameras. You can get red cameras apparently for how much? They're not that expensive.
Don't.
I see Alan was the one who had this information. I don't have it.
let's call him.
Damn it, Alan.
Where is he?
He's at work. But my point is, it's like now the rating I can't remember what the Australian board is called. But they don't have as much power because like you can just make a film and put it on the internet. No one can stop you.
Yeah, so true.
Whereas before it was in the cinemas and it had to get rated to be, put in the theaters, and there was that whole business side of it.
If it was shown at the cinemas, that'd be a dream come true, but I can't see it happening. We'll send it to festivals.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do first. And then my EP's got a few contacts at Stan and Netflix America and a few other places as well. So we'll get in front of them. But right now, I just want to make it the best it can be.
Yeah.
And I've got
Yeah.
the opportunity right now to do it. So just have
That's
another
it.
couple of... What would you rate it?
Ooh, out of
Classification or out
No,
of...
no, no. Out of 10.
Wait, what?
Out of
No,
10
no.
or-
Classification.
classification,
M.
or
I don't know.
MA. There's a
Yeah.
fair bit of blood.
The
Yeah.
version that we saw,
Yeah.
MA.
Yeah.
The version that you're cooking up, I don't know. I'd have to wait and see.
We'll see.
When I send you the screener, then tell
Yeah,
me.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions for
Um,
us or for you guys?
I don't know.
No, I just wanted to thank you guys. This was...
Yeah.
Just like I thank you guys.
Oh,
thanks for
sorry. I just
coming.
wanted to thank us.
Yeah.
Thank
And,
yourselves, please. Well, look, no, we Australian cinema is important, and it's something that we fight for on this show, and we
Well-
talk about it as much as we can.
It's seriously, it's almost impossible, and I'm glad that I funded it myself. You know, and because it's ours.
Yeah, you don't owe the devil anything
No,
for it.
no,
That's right.
it's ours.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very
Yeah.
proud of that. I'm proud of what we've done. Like, you know, it's not Ant-Man 3, okay, with
Yeah.
the effects and stuff. I do listen to you guys.
Well, you know,
Like, the
in
effects are
some ways,
great.
it's probably better than the recent.
Well, I sent it overseas for the VFX, and they've done a great job,
Yeah.
especially with the head getting cut off. I won't tell you who, but
There is a head that is cut off.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I guess listeners can catch more information about this movie on residencetoFilm.com.au or .com.
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 And then if they
Yes.
want to see my other films, www.breedinggroundproductions.com.
Mm-hmm.
If they just want to find out more information on me, just www.mattmirams.com. Or if they just want... No, I haven't got my list, so I was going
there's
to keep
not
going.
at mattmirams.com. Follow us on Insta, I guess.
Yeah, follow us on Insta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about Residence a bit more?
We can.
It's my favourite film.
No, we can. We absolutely can.
No,
'cause
I want to talk a little bit about it and just the acting and all that sort of stuff. There's just so much we can talk about.
oh man,
Like, because it's really deep. It's... So I'm not coming... Am I coming across as egotistical?
you are.
My
That's
film
fine.
is like the best film ever.
Ever.
Yeah. And all right, the Tuesday review. We're here. You're there. And we're about to start talking about films, the Australian film industry, other bits and pieces, anything that's off the top of our heads. Yeah, Jeanette, hi.
Hi.
All right. It's going really well.
There we go.
All right.
I'm hoping. Will this movie, if all things being well, will this movie get a physical release? Because one of the things we like to champion on this show is physical media. Because Pete was telling us one of a documentary he made, Fearless, I think it was called, about the AFLW. It just got pulled off of Disney Plus or wherever it was because it wasn't generating enough money. I guess they have ways to track, you know, how many people are watching and the
Yeah.
revenue
sure.
it might be generating. So it's like, I hate it when movies that you can't get elsewhere, like if it's a rare movie, they upload on Netflix for a month or whatever, and then you just can't get it anymore. And it's like, to buy some of these films, you might have to pay $180 to import them from Europe. I'm like, you know, not that it's going to cost me $180 to import Residence.
That's me.
Or will it?
Sold in, it's one of those rare Australian movies that's only ever sold in Europe.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, that's it. That's the only distribution we get is in
Europe.
Sweden.
Yeah. Or
The German release.
Or an Eastern European, like a
Yeah.
Romania or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all things being well, do you reckon we'll get a physical release?
Yes.
And if so, special features, commentary.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Yeah, no.
The blooper reel.
The blooper. I want the blooper reel. Matt.
Well, it's
I
just
need to
you.
see. Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I want it. Yeah, look, I mean, oh god, if all goes well, that's the dream, right? Like,
There-
we would love that.
You ruined a few takes.
I did.
Do you remember when I go,
ruin
you go, can you take us out to the field?
Yeah.
And I go, okay, after you. And then I walk
and then you
off.
just walk off.
And then
yeah.
you...
And then I lost it, and then I cracked. Yes. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean that's the goal, right? We don't know. It's tricky for indie films to get that type of attention and to get to that scale. So we don't know. We definitely hope, but yeah.
Yeah. We've got a few things up our sleeve. Having said that, we've really got nothing up our sleeve, but we're really going to have to put our thinking.
desperate.
Yeah, we're desperate. Look, I think the film festival run is probably the first thing we do, and take it around the world. Yeah, look,
There are certain theaters like the FOMO in Brunswick who do event screenings. And
is that where you saw Motion is Dead?
Yeah, well, the director, we talked to the director of the, I don't know what his actual title is.
Event planning at FOMO.
And he says he's really passionate about Australian films and he really wants people to come and screen their, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but he expressed interest and he just wants to highlight interesting and independent Aussie films.
Brilliant.
So, you know, there are theatres out there who you just got to find them. Like, we'd never been to FOMO.
We sent him an email being like,
right.
please come on the show.
Yeah.
Please.
Director of event planning. I want to talk to you.
Well, he'd be
Yeah.
so fascinating to talk to because
Yeah.
he's the man on the ground for, like, you know, reaching out and figuring out how to get people to see these films.
Yeah.
So there are theatres out there who might be interested in screening residents. They're just not the big chains. So you just got to, you know, you just got to look. But I will say FOMO's are beautiful. We'd never been there. Like,
I've never
It's
heard
new.
of it.
East Brunswick. It's new.
yeah, and it's
Okay.
the coolest little theatre.
Yeah,
They have,
right.
like, you're sitting in the seats. They have these tablets, like touchpads, and you can order your food or drink or alcohol or whatever, and they bring it to you. And I was like, I feel like I'm living in the future at this point.
Absolutely. It's
It's-
like gold class but
Did you
automated.
Did you talk about this on the show?
We did last
I
time.
know.
That is
thinking, I know this from
very
somewhere.
cool. That is, that
I'm
is
sorry, but the reason I
very
repeat
cool.
it is because, like, I think that there are people who would absolutely like to highlight Residents or any other Aussie film. They're just hard
Fantastic.
to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you have to
Yeah.
kind of know about it.
Yeah.
Which is like the Australian film industry to me. It's going to be stuff like that, where it's like it's a little more indie, a little more grassroots,
Yeah.
because like the big, we have a monopoly in this country when it comes to theaters. There's only really Village or Hoyts,
Yeah.
and then like all the other smaller cinemas have to kind of fight for their share. Like, you know, the Astor is its own thing.
Yeah.
That's got its population built in. It plays its hipster movies. Everyone loves it.
We tried to have Residents shown there, and I was just going back and forth with this girl, and she was
Yeah.
just, she was an imbecile. It's like I'd write her a message, and then 3 or 4 days later, I think we can do that date. It just kept going back and forth, and I
Yeah.
thought,
But they're owned
that's
by,
your job.
They're owned by Palace as well.
That's right.
So it's like, again, that's another big player in the industry. They might
That-
look like they are. An
I told
indie
this girl,
theater, but
sorry,
Yeah.
but I told her, I said, look, it's indie film.
yeah,
Do you care? No one cares. No one
It can
cares.
be tricky.
Yeah.
It can
Yeah.
be tricky to find people that
you got to find those actual indie cinemas where it's
Yes.
like the Astor was indie, but it's like, but Palace is a bigger thing and it has more autonomy, but it's still just Palace cinemas.
Yeah.
So it's like there are, you know, it'd be great if you could do guerrilla screenings. You know what I mean? Like in a
That'd be
parking lot.
cool. Yeah, that'd be
set up a
sick.
screen
On the side of
Yeah.
a building.
I think
Yeah.
we need drive-ins is what I'm saying. Drive-ins need to make a comeback.
Yeah. Oh, there's still the one down in Dramana. Dramana Drive-Ins is so good.
That's right.
It's one in Coburg.
I would.
Yeah, the Coburg one.
I'd love
yeah.
to show Residents.
I think a drive-in's the perfect venue for residents, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
I was talking to Hugh.
Oh, do an
And-
event screening in a drive-in and have a gaffer tape man walking around.
Oh,
That would be amazing.
God, that would be
Oh.
so good.
No, I want full orchestra playing like they did with Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and other blockbusters.
Yeah.
But I want Residents to show with Hugh, you know, with his.
Orchestrating.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing?
That'd be very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
would
what
be
I would
sick.
love him to do.
Mm.
But yeah, try reaching out to FOMO because you never know. I mean, I'm not going to speak
I've
for
never
him,
heard of them before.
but
cool.
they're
They are,
interested in.
they've only been open like a year or
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
we
They're
want to do a couple more screenings because
Yeah.
there was a few people that couldn't come to Capital, and we want to do one here and then one in Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's these little theaters spread across the country. I think it was Pete Williams who was saying that he met some distributor who was saying you have to reach out to these little ones and do event screenings because that's how you build traction. Something like that.
So he's showing Emotion is Dead around the country, isn't he?
Yeah, he
like a-
he got like a van and he's just doing a road trip across Australia showing his film.
I might
Wow.
contact him. We just connected on
Yeah.
Instagram.
But he
so-
he has a lot of good ideas about that kind of
yeah.
Marketing,
his little marketing plan.
yeah, it was a good interview.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a smart boy.
He's very smart, very
Yeah.
intelligent.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
We don't know what to do.
Yeah, seriously.
Look, you learn as you go, I guess.
Especially with
Yeah.
films because it's such a tactile. It's not like it's very physical, very tactile. I think you have to be smart to make a film at any level. You know what I mean? It's easy to call yourself dumb in a community radio station, but it's like, when you actually make a film, you've achieved something that not many people get the opportunity to achieve, and that's for everyone in the production.
We're very proud of that, and we do understand.
I mean, and also don't, your short films kick ass. There's also that. So it's like,
yeah.
I know you're not dumb.
Don't say you're dumb. Yeah. That's not. Did laugh.
Have you just seen the grand scheme?
I have only, unfortunately, just seen the grand scheme.
If you have a look at, if you go on Breeding Ground Productions, have a look at all of them, and you'll go from Residence.
That
Residence.
actor, this actor,
Yeah.
that person, yeah.
So I've met a lot
same.
of those actors on stage doing community theatre, and the best of the best. They're incredible. Like Jean and Daisy at the start around the table, they're phenomenal. And Kate and Justin, they've got the best actors on this. There's no weak links. There isn't. I mean, if you can name one.
Go for it.
Don't look at me. I know I'm in it. But
Yeah.
And cinematography, Conrad McCarthy is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did such a beautiful job.
Yeah, incredible. And that's the thing, where there is no drone shots, nothing like that. And I always wanted the camera to be right beside Jeanette all the way, so the camera was like another passenger on this journey.
How do you feel about quick cuts? Because one of the things we hate on this show is shaky cam then just really quick cuts. Again, not to bring up Pete, because this is 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks in a row we've talked to directors.
We'll get Pete on the phone.
No, but because we've talked to two directors now, back to back.
Yeah.
So it's like Pete, when he was filming Emotion Is Dead, he wanted to have just set up the tripod, film what was in the frame, because he wanted it to be like a simple. He didn't want to overcomplicate the filming process. How do you guys feel about setting up a shot?
I hate cutting. You only cut if you need to.
Yeah.
Like you cut, then your eyes have to adjust, and your brain's going, okay, where are we now? I'm from a theatre background, and so's Jeanette, and we like to look at everything, on there, and we like to act and get in there, and it's, there's so many scenes in Residence where I've just let it go, and let the actors just go for it.
Yeah.
Like with Jeanette and Ruby outside. Outside. I don't want to ruin it.
How do you feel, Jeanette?
Outside of the bedroom.
This is a
you
difficult
and
movie
Ruby.
to talk about on the show because
Yeah.
we can't really we don't want to spoil
that one.
anything.
Sorry, that thing. Yeah.
I really
that
want
was
to.
Intense,
Yeah.
yeah.
But in my brain, it's like, no.
Like
You're
the part
talking
around.
about you're talking about the second flashback scene for Jeanette.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one I complained about last week for lack of subtitles.
I heard
Yes, that's right.
there'd be
yeah.
no subtitles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have
Yeah.
our
But do you know
silent
what she
producer-
says?
No.
No, so our
Without
silent-
spoiling it, we can't
Yeah.
really.
No, it's not spoiling it.
No, I don't think it's spoiling
What
it.
did
It's
she say?
literally the mum's calling out from the other room, basically saying she can't stay in the bed any longer. She wants to get up, and I'm just basically saying to her, "Just wait, mum. I'm giving the baby a bath. Just
Yeah.
wait a second." And she's like, "Fine, I'll do it." The mother goes, "I'll do it myself," and I'm like, "No, mum, don't." And then that's all the
Yeah.
words that are said.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
We have a friend of the
silent
show.
producer Christian.
Yeah, we have a friend
The
of
resident Italian claims he speaks Italian.
Yeah.
Wouldn't tell us what it was, and it's like
Yeah, we're like, you speak Italian, Christian. What? And he goes, it's a dialect. He's like, I caught some of it.
But there are 3 moments in the. There's
Christian.
Thanks for not helping.
Boglaka speaks Hungarian. I don't want subtitles,
I think for that scene it works though, because everyone is just like, "What is happening?" Even the people in the scene themselves, they're like, "We don't."
VRC.
Yeah, that's all we need, babe.
Love that. And at the start, the French doctor.
Yeah.
That we are safe. That's such a Zombieland thing. I love that. And there's that line later on. What's the character's name? It escapes me.
From
the Hungarian.
Boglaka.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
one. When I say classic.
Classic Boglaka.
Classic
Yeah.
Boglaka.
I love that. That's such
Yeah.
an Aussie joke.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
Classic Boglaka. Classic Boglaka. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that joke.
Yeah, and we weren't safe, were we? Nah.
Nah.
Like Harry and Luke together are just.
Yeah,
Like
they
the
were
f-
sweet together.
the
I
f-
liked them.
You
together.
all were, the 5. And Ellie was 10 when we cast her. And then at the premiere, did you see it? She's a young lady now.
Yeah.
No, well, that's another thing.
She's
I forgot.
14.
I forgot to ask during the live portion. I'm like, the movie, like, I saying we're dealing with children actors. Like, how do you deal with the
Okay.
fact that they grow up?
Okay,
in the
let me tell you.
Oh, right,
So we
yeah.
we finished hers on June of last year, and a month later, her mum called me and go, "Oh my God, you got out. You got so lucky," because she just like overnight
Like a
Shot
had a
up,
growth
yeah.
spurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's obvious to it was obvious to me when because the very first scene that we shot with Ali was the Harold scene, wasn't it? The Mike and Mikey scene.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of happens, like 20 minutes into the film or so, roughly?
Yeah,
25?
half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
22.
you go from seeing Ali at a certain sort of age and height and look and all that, and then we go into the Mike and Mikey house, and I was looking at her and I'm like, oh my God, she looks so different.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
looks like a baby there, and then we're running out and she's like older again. It's just
That's right.
it's
I'm
so
sure
funny.
the makeup department can help.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I don't think it's something that, many people would have noticed.
No.
But to me, because we were, I just was like,
Known
oh,
her for a
gosh.
long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But
So
we
that was pretty
built
funny.
that set. We built sets. We did like we did so much. I mean, there'll definitely be a commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just so much in it.
Yeah, the Mike and Mikey scene was built on a school theatre stage. What high school was it? Do you remember the name of the high school?
Elizabeth Murdoch.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Langwarrin.
In Langwarrin, yeah.
Yeah.
So they had this really beautiful theatre room, and
All lights coming down, so we didn't have to get a gaffer in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Gotta
proper
think,
theatre
yeah.
stage. It was so cool. And
Yeah.
then,
Awesome.
our set design, builders got in there and put it all up, so it was very cool.
Yeah. We shot it all in one day. Had
Yeah.
Ian come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask earlier, Jeanette, as an actor or actress, how do you prefer?
It's I don't care. I don't mind. It's whatever.
What takes are your favorite to do, like in terms of length? Like, do you like Matt likes the long shots?
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like, do you prefer the short, quick ones? Do you like long shots because you get to finish earlier? You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel being in front of the camera? Like, what's your preference?
Yeah, I think I like long shots purely because sometimes when a scene is sort of cut up, if you're thinking something in take one and then thinking something even slightly different in take two, and then it's cut up and something's used from take one, something's used in take two, sometimes it doesn't exactly
Sync.
Yeah. But so the long shots I love because it's just one big motion and
Totally in
you
character.
can you're in it for the whole thing. So I do like one shots. I hadn't done them before Residence. Everything that I'd done before that was very much shorter takes and cuts and all that. But yeah, I think it also just reminds me of theatre though, because when you're in theatre, you can't stuff it up. You can't.
You can
You
you can't fuck it up.
Yeah, we're not lying.
You can't. There's no. You need to know it's so good, so perfect that
There's no take two.
There's no take two. You can't cut. You can't restart. It's like you just got to keep going.
That actually leads into what my next question was going to be. Is like I've always thought like how would I like we do the show, but we don't really have to rehearse anything. We might make some notes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do it in the arts where you have to just remember stuff? Whether that's like being a musician, but in your case or whatever, like actors or writers, directors, where you have to know the material. Like, is that like do you just have a great memory, or is it something you had to kind of like a muscle you had to build?
Yeah, I think the more you practice it, the easier it gets. So I felt like my memory or my ability to remember scripts got a lot better while I was doing the full-time study because I was just doing it every day. I was doing it every day for the year. And so it's like a muscle, like just practicing that memory muscle. And I think also understanding the scene and your intentions, all of that sort of helps you memorize the lines, because it's like, well, if my goal is to get him to do this, okay, well, that's the goal, so I'm going to use these words to try and achieve that goal. So just lots of little strategies and things to help you do it. But I've got 2 kids at home, so I can't, well, I don't usually sit down and read the script 50,000 times. I record myself saying it, and then I'll listen to it while I'm doing the washing, while I'm cleaning up, and I just listen to it, because then it also distracts myself from, I'm not learning lines, but they get in anyway in your head. So
Subconscious, yeah.
yeah. So that's how I do it. But It was very hard at the start, and it still is sometimes. If I have a big monologue, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Probably
about you,
probably
Matt?
different from Matt. Well, he wrote the thing 50 times.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but you can still remember. You can still forget the little details in a scene, even if you know
Definitely.
the overall
Definitely.
image of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's like the castle was at Bree's parents' place up at Beveridge.
One of the producers.
One of the producers, yeah. So I stayed there, and then I'm up at 3 a.m. I just couldn't sleep because I'm excited, and it's fun. It was just so fun, like making a film with friends. It's just so much fun,
Especially when you're live action role playing as a king.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got the whole,
Well, I
Everyone has
was,
this really
even
gritty
if I
role.
wasn't in the scene, I would still be up and still
Yeah.
super excited.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, everyone's like in this really dark place, and Matt's like, I get to go and
Be a
king
jester,
and-
basically.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I had so much dialogue there, and it was just like, okay, it's switching off and being in it. And it was hard at the start because there's all the peasants, the knights, a lot of people staring at me. I'm going, oh, fuck, I don't know if I can still bloody do this, you know, because I hadn't done theatre in so long because of COVID. And then it all comes back, and it's just like, okay. And then I just went for it, and I didn't care if I stuffed up or said the wrong thing or didn't make sense. There was just a lot of things. And the Queen, I told her, just work with me, you know. So there was not a lot of dialogue with her. So I go, I just said, you hate me.
Yeah.
And you're drunk. You're a drunk.
And I guess that also makes people more comfortable if you have that environment where you can stuff up and it's not going to be punished.
100%.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
less intimidating in that way because...
Well,
That takes the pressure off
Yeah.
too.
definitely does. So I knew I wasn't going to punish myself. And but no, I think it's just all about, like, when learning lines, it's the gist of it.
Yes.
You know, okay, what is it? And if I forget it, I kind of, like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And then get back on track. And, you know, it's all going to be sort of cut anyway. So I gave Sean the film, and he started with all the flashbacks first. Then he started working his way, and then he rang me and said, I'm doing the castle. And I said, I am so sorry. He goes, what? I go, you're going to be sitting there for ages.
Yeah.
Because I did so many takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
And
a lot
every-
of footage there.
Every take's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I was saying half the time. But it was always Empire Strikes Back, and because I love Empire Strikes Back, and
As we all
big,
do.
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
nerd, you know.
It's the best of the lot.
Yeah, well, I love that scene, you know, with, Han Solo, Lando Calrissian coming out and blah, blah, blah. But I always thought that, Eric the Bald was Boba Fett. You know, that's how me and Hugh saw him. And we've got a little theme, you know. But Eric the Bald comes in on Resonance too.
Another thing we talk about on the
Yeah.
show a lot, we talk about narrative.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame James and Alan can't be here because, Nathan and myself we think about narrative overall and vibes, whereas Alan didn't really start watching movies until he was already kind of like midway through high school.
Right.
So he has a very unique perspective on films because he didn't grow up in it. So when he watches like Die Hard for the first time, he'll watch it as a grown man through a grown man's lens.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, this is what I think about it. And it's like perspectives we've never heard of. And James is like the expert because James James went to film school and that type of thing. So when he watches films, we all watch movies the same, watches over you and you digest it. But he'll be able to say, well, this shot was done this way and rah, 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 rah.
Yeah.
So it's a shame they can't be here to, help me articulate myself better. But when we talk about narrative, like we always talk about that famous, I think it's Stephen King talked about how or George R. Martin, I can't remember which one. There's two types of...
Stephen King.
There's two types of writers. This is a question for both of you guys because it was a collaborative process. You've got your gardeners, which is like Stephen King, where you'll know the overall idea. Like, you have a character who starts here and they need to get over there. And then you discover what happens as you go in between.
You write bullshit as you go.
Yeah, but it's almost the kind of magic where it organically, the characters figure their own way out. And even though you're technically making it up, oftentimes the character will go on its own journey regardless of how you feel about it. Because there will be I apologize for sounding like an esoteric weirdo. But it'll, like, if you've ever tried to write something, you'll know that sometimes a character you want them to go in a certain way, but then when you're writing that, it takes on almost a life of its own.
Yeah.
And they go on a different journey than the one you originally imagined. That's like the gardener.
Yeah.
But then you have the architect, which is George R. R. Martin, who has to sit in front of the typewriter or the computer screen, bullet point every little thing that happens until you have like a story of bullet points, and then you just make everything a paragraph, and then you've got it's done. Like, where do you guys feel in terms of narrative creation? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Where do you place yourselves?
When it came to making Residence.
Honestly, just creation in general. But I mean,
Yeah.
Residence, the screenplay, absolutely. But it's like, I love talking about like this kind of stuff, storytelling.
Well,
Yeah.
with Charlie, at the start when we see her, she doesn't talk. And a lot of the other characters are leaning in going, what? I can't hear you. What are you saying? And as she goes on this journey and connects with the child and KJ and Kobe and Tim, life starts to seep back into her, and she gets louder and more confident as she does when she gets up on stage. And yeah, that's as far as I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a majority of the characters were pretty fleshed out. I don't think we'd strayed too far from the original ideas when
No.
we had first written them all. And, don't get us wrong, I feel like if there was something that felt better to take them a different way, we probably would have.
Yeah.
But everything worked out pretty well to how it was sort of planned out. I mean, I myself haven't written anything from start to finish, so I don't really know what my sort of strategy
with Jeanette
is,
and I,
but-
there were a lot of discussions.
Yeah.
I said, watch these films.
Yeah.
And this was, she wasn't cast as Charlie, and we were working on Charlie. And I would be having Zoom calls with the team. And I remember one day, I don't know if you remember this, but one day I said, come on, guys, we need a Charlie. Let's put our heads together. We need to cast this person. And then we went off Zoom, and then I get a message from Jeanette going, I'd like to audition for Charlie. And then I just went, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I messaged Fab and Tim. I'm going, Jeanette's Charlie. And they go, yeah, of course she is. She didn't audition. But of course, it's just...
Yeah. It made sense.
It made sense. And there's a lot of moments over this journey where it's just happened. Like I met Jeanette and I met Fab and Tim and just all these amazing actors I got to work with. And I'm blessed, but I think it happened for a reason. And I'm so proud of it, and I'm proud of everyone's work. And I do believe it'll go far. It's fun.
It is fun. I look forward to rewatching it. I look forward to revisiting it when James comes back on Friday. He's a week late.
Okay.
I look forward to him watching it and getting his reaction too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think he'll get a real big kick out of it.
As soon as it's done, end of September, then I'll send you screener.
Done. We'll revisit it with
Yeah.
James because he'll have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to that, I feel like you're a gardener, the writing style.
All good
Don't
authors
you?
are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Compliment.
Like don't you think? Like you'll have an idea, but then when in the process of doing it, if something needs to go a different direction, you're happy for it to take that.
100%. And
Yeah.
you've got to be loose.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
if you're doing many drafts.
Yeah.
Usually someone who's kind of set on that story. They might change little things, but
From the
Yeah.
first draft to the 40th, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think in draft 17, Cyril was horrible. He captured everyone and killed most of them. And I thought, he's got to be a fun character.
So you're discovering the story as you're writing.
Yes.
It as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I read once that like there's a correct version of every story. Not every story that's made is the correct version. And like a good author will be able to feel, is this story the one I really want to tell? Or am I still trying to get there? Like shoveling dirt away.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said before,
Yeah,
Stephen
interesting.
King's rewrote a story a couple of times. He's taken one of his shorts and he's made it into a novel.
Yeah, because like some stories have more than one form. Like like Residence was a short, but then like you might have like so many different variants, I should say, of like a story, and it's like none of them are wrong, but none of them are the right story either. Brandon Sanderson, the author, talks about how like often a story is multiple stories, that you don't think are connected, but then with the little twists, it forms like a greater whole. I'm sorry, this is a different.
No.
We're here to talk about
No.
Residence.
No, we're here to talk about movies in general.
yeah.
And
But like I think you get that with films too. Sometimes on the show we'll talk about the definitive version of a film, and like the example James always talks about is Apocalypse Now, like that movie.
the final cut,
Yeah, he's
like it's coming out. Have you Apocalypse Now? The final cut comes out in about a month or two. Do you know about this?
No, I'm not sure.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you boys are learning something. Aren't you?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, keep going, and I'll show you.
We're talking about like that film could only have been made in that time and place by that team.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't make Apocalypse Now, and
Right.
it have the same.
Have you seen Hearts of Darkness?
Yes, right.
I've read the book.
See the film?
Oh, the documentary. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Oh, it was shot by his wife.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
to. I want to get it. Is it on the disc or do you have to buy it as a separate Blu-ray?
I'm not too sure.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh.
On that note, though, is that sort of what you were saying just then? Is that sort of how you would describe, like, say, like The Exorcist or something like that? Like that only had the impact it had for how it was made in that time?
Yeah, correct. Like you couldn't. Like I guess that was. It's not scary to us now. Like
No.
if you take someone like our friend Alan, for example, when he watched The Exorcist, he's like, "This is kind of boring,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, but it was shocking when it came out."
Yes, exactly.
You say that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Omen movie? Have you
No.
watched it yet?
No, I haven't.
You like that, don't you?
That was fantastic.
I know, because I heard you say it on the show. I feel like I bloody know you.
That's it. How many episodes have you listened to?
I'm glad you
Well,
started listening to
I
the.
paint.
Yeah.
I paint houses, so I listen to heaps of podcasts, and they're all film podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm glad you listened to more modern episodes, because boy, were we shit when we started.
Yeah, no, I listen to
everyone?
those.
Yeah. Start at one, then skip to
Couldn't
200.
delete them fast enough.
We actually had a whole other show called Man vs. Movies. That was when James, me and Nathan were originally on that show, and then like it was just James talking about movies of the week, and then he'd play some like film soundtrack, and it was kind of weird.
That's okay.
But then, like we kind of joined on that podcast. You can't get any of those episodes anymore because
No.
the shout was it who
Shout
hosted
Engine.
them?
Shout Engine was our original podcast host,
Right.
and they folded. They closed, and they were supposed to offer a transition service over to Anchor, now called Spotify for podcasters. And it was meant to be all handled automatically. We give them, like, we give Shout Engine our RSS feed and our new RSS feed for Spotify, and they poured it all over. Never happened. We lost
Years worth.
worth of work,
Okay.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
but they weren't that great, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah,
Training
still.
audience.
Look, it's lost
Yeah.
media if you can find it.
Oh, yeah,
We
right.
joke about how there's some hipster out there who's like, I only like the Man vs.
That's
Movies episode.
Yeah.
Even though they're shit.
I need to find these men.
So,
Oh, funny.
yeah, so
That's
But,
like I've lost so much footage from classes that I'm like,
You keep everything?
No, I had everything on Google Drive or something like that, and then I I deleted stuff because I was running out of space and all that, and then I thought, oh no, I can buy more storage, and just being so technically unsavvy, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes of just raw audio on my computer. At the
Yeah,
moment
there
from
would
all
be.
the old episodes.
Yeah.
And then they're all also on YouTube, and they're also uploaded everywhere. So we'll never lose any of the newer episodes.
I've still got the first film I did back in 1990.
Wow.
That's the year I was born, Matt.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
No,
No.
me too.
Get out.
No, I wanted to put it all together so on my 50th I could actually show
That's very
all
cool.
this anyway.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I probably won't.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, goddamn. No, this was really good. You guys made it really comfortable.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
always the goal.
I always worry when people come here for the first time and they're like, it's in like a little court with a community hall and a tennis center, and there's this shack that has 98.9 and it's like a blackboard.
It's we told
My suspicions.
we told our last guest, I'm like, look, it is cursed,
Yeah,
but it is safe.
What do you mean
The
it's
amount of-
cursed?
I mean, it's a shed in the middle of like
Yeah.
suburbs. That's a
the
bit
drama
dodgy
that has
looking.
gone on in these walls. There was a guy who, I guess he did a show here years ago.
Let's keep it reasonably
Oh,
obscure.
I don't know any names.
Yeah.
I love moving on.
Moving on. Cut this mic.
Yeah.
No, just like they call it the tin shed, and there's like, you know, videos on the internet where some guy complaining about the politics at work, and he's like, under the tin shed, the truth in the tin shed.
Oh.
I was like, we're all just here to do community radio. Everyone please get along.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably just like in the movie industry, there's a lot of egos.
Yeah.
Like you'd think there wouldn't be that much ego in community radio. You'd be really wrong.
There's ego everywhere.
There's and that's what makes it hard a lot of the time too. It's the hardest thing to deal with is ego, and especially when like with I mean, as an actor trying to get on set or on projects and stuff for things, it's probably more about the networking side of it. But if there's an ego on set, they have certain people that they'll work with, and they are difficult until they get what they want, and then you feel like you have to adhere to that. So
don't look Miss Coppolino directly in the eyes.
Yeah. I'll get you.
Yeah. Only red M&Ms in her trailer. But it's right. I mean, there are some people I won't work with again. But I'd say about 99% of that cast, I guess
back. It's everywhere, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah. And I think, coming from our perspective anyway, you just try to make everyone feel comfortable as you do on your movie set.
Yeah.
Like, we don't always have guests on the show, but we're privileged when we do. And we've been doing this show for a long time, and we understand people come in here, even you come in here yourselves, you're nervous about being on the radio. For us, it's like breathing. I don't think about the fact that it's going on the airwaves. I don't think about it anymore. You just do it like, I don't know that the microphone's here.
We
just come in here and Callum knocks his microphone around and we talk.
That's how it goes.
And I have an extra thick pop filter because I'm pop.
That's it.
Oh, you're very poppy?
I don't have the pop filter because someone stole our last pop filter.
Yeah, community radio.
Community radio.
Rude.
Rude.
So rude.
So I have to mind how I talk. But Callum, he has troubles with his P's and B's and T's.
Aww.
Very poppy.
Yeah, very poppy.
Peter Pan pickles his peppers precariously.
You can say that really good though. I'd be a mumbling mess.
No.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. We're always lucky to have people that show an interest in our show. And
100%.
Yeah.
No, I started listening to you guys and then reached out, and
we consider ourselves to be a pretty authentic film critics in the sense that we don't expect anything, but like for years we just go out there and tell the truth about how we feel about movies. And if that means like, you know, we'll go and talk about a movie. Famously, we clash with other critics, for example, like Eternals. Did you guys see the Marvel movie, The Eternals?
No.
We liked it a lot.
Oh.
And everyone was like, it sucks because it's like it's a real film.
Yeah.
So it's slow. It's not. It has action in it, but it's not about the action.
Right.
It's a relationship drama.
It's a relationship drama.
It's a 2.5 hour relationship drama that's set in like the Marvel universe.
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
right.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No,
I know.
I don't like a lot of
most
Marvel
people
films.
didn't like the Eternals, and we're like, it was really good. And then everyone's like, Shang-Chi's the best, and we're like, no, it was awful.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't sell out, if that makes
Well,
sense.
we don't get
Oh, for
paid,
sure.
so it's easy to not sell out.
But it's like
Yeah.
but
Yeah. You don't follow the popular opinion.
That's
You
it.
have your own opinion.
yeah, but we're lucky and privileged is what I'm saying sometimes to be able to get screeners or to be able to talk to talented people like yourselves.
but it's all subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
that
so
Yeah.
everyone's got their own opinion, and that's
Yeah.
great. I'm glad everyone's different. And at the screening, you know, I was thinking there's going to be some people that don't like this.
Yeah, for sure.
So I tried to hunt them down.
And get the gaffer tape man onto them.
Yeah. No, I thought, well, that's...
But
I love that, though. I want to talk to them and find out why. Because residence is broad. So there's got to be something in there that you like.
That someone can relate to at some
or
point.
appreciate the amount of time and effort and work, money that's gone into this, you know?
The thing about resonance is this is what Nathan was saying the other day. The more he thinks about it, the more he appreciates it. Because it's only when you digest a film. Like, not all movies, some movies you'll go out and it'll blow you away and you're like, I loved it. Like, Residence was good and we had fun. But then it's like, the more you think about it, the more you digest it, the more you appreciate subtleties in the script or the characters or, you know, the performances or what have you. So I think Residence is going to have a longer shelf life than like a throwaway movie just because it does have things that you think about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whether it's the performances, the characters, like Scum Pizza, for example, has stayed with me. That weird any protein pizza.
The song?
Just everything.
The whole
Everything.
brand,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Some koala pizza here.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it has that world in it, and it's
Yeah.
like those are the movies that stick with you. The ones that have not something to say sounds cliche, but it's like I said, it's like a comic book world.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean that in the MCU movie. I mean 21 Days Later, for example, had comic books as well. That's the similar type of thing where there are more stories in the Residence world. I just don't know them, but they're there. I can feel them.
Not yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do you guys feel that? Like, you can feel there's still stories to tell?
There is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, with 2 and 3 being announced, but, like, do you have characters just sitting in your unconscious being like, oh, Matt, when's it going to be my time to shine?
Mm.
Yeah. Well, look, there's so much that didn't go in the film. So many backstories to the characters. And Charlie, there's so much to Charlie's backstory, which, I can't wait to explore. We'll do that. Yeah, even Mikey. Mikey's the one that, got shot in the eye, but we've got his episode in the series, and it's a mockumentary, so different genre, on Undead Forever, this cult horror zombie Z-grade horror film that he did.
That he was in, yeah.
Zombies in Space. All right? And we want to explore that, and the guy who plays Mikey is just a comic genius. So I rang him up the other day and said, "You cool doing this?" He goes, "Yep, count me in." So everyone's going to come back.
That's awesome.
And I'd love to do that. So I really want Residents to... It'll do well. We'll get it somewhere. And then we've got the series. So there's 6 characters and then 2 characters from Residents 2 that we haven't met yet in there.
Oh.
Interesting.
Is that making sense?
To introduce them.
Yeah.
So, how are you gonna Are you gonna keep the same kind of, I guess, tonal elements from the movie into the series?
Yes.
Or is it gonna be like one episode's pure, basically
With the
comedy?
series, there'll be different genres.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
To suit the character.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Jeanette's... Have you seen Maid? M-A-I-D. It's on Netflix. It starred Annie McDowell's daughter.
No.
Can't remember her name. So it's very bleak and everything, and it's just really dramatic, and Jeanette can play that really well, as you know. So I kind of see that. I look at that, so I'll have to watch that again and sort of get that tone and feel, and then, sit down with Jeanette and we'll go for a big walk, talk and everything. So, but I really want to shoot that like next February. Get stuck into that,
Wow.
and I don't want it to take another 4 years. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. It's like I'll be painting, and then I'll write something down, or use a speaker, and anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Note take.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Well, they say like
probably giving too much away, but
physical work is really good for creative work, especially if it's relatively mindless, because you can set your mind to other tasks.
Yes.
I've done so many menial kind of jobs. Like I remember working in a car part kind of factory, and where I had to get these 2 pieces, put them in, press a button, and I did that for like 10 hours. But God damn, I came up with so much stuff. I would just utilize that time. I've been making, I remember in England, just making boxes and writing songs. Just pages and pages of stuff.
Yeah.
And I got paid for
That
it.
flow state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's exciting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go back to working in a warehouse or a factory soon. I've got to pay the classification and VFX. Yeah, I've still got a lot of stuff to pay off. But
Thanks to the film industry in Australia.
yeah. And we got them on the line. Okay, hello. You're on the air.
Yeah, it is frustrating, but hopefully we'll see improvements, I guess.
I hope so.
Well, there are more Aussies trying to make films. That's a fact.
Yeah.
It seems that way from the outside.
Did you...
Yeah.
Have you watched Bird Eater?
That's a film?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No.
That was at
Oh.
MIF last year.
Bird Eater.
It's amazing. And
Okay.
it really pushes the boundaries of like Australian cinema.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was hilarious in a very uncomfortable way.
It's about
Awesome.
it's about toxic masculinity.
It's about toxic
Awesome.
masculinity. We won't go too much into spoilers,
Yeah.
but basically like the whole setup, yes, that's the movie.
Yeah.
The whole setup is it's like a Bucks weekend and he invites his fiance to come along with him.
Oh,
and it goes raw.
interesting.
Oh,
yes,
this looks
I would.
this looks amazing.
Does
that-
it?
Yeah, have a look at
That
photos.
that movie was probably our favorite movie of last year. Just
No,
in
the Maiden was. But
oh,
I'll
the Maiden
continue.
was okay, but that hasn't been released anywhere else.
No, that's what I was like. Don't you do this to me? Like, every director we get the privilege to speak to, I'm like, please promise me there'll be a release. So one of the best movies I've seen in my life came out last year, The Maiden by Graham Foy, and it's just dead in the water as far as I can tell. They like it's. I
How
love.
frustrating.
It's like stayed with me. I think about it all the time. I actually started emailing companies like, what's going on?
What?
It was supposedly coming to the streaming service Mubi.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Never happened.
Like I said, it was coming of age drama.
But
about,
at least you saw it.
yeah, that's the thing.
True.
It's a coming of age drama about I don't want to spoil it, but like a terrible incident happens in this small Canadian town,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like how the teenagers and the people who live in that town process it and continue on with their lives.
Wow.
Anyway, incredible. But it's like James said, sometimes a movie will be released at a festival, and you'll watch it, and then that's it. That's it for that film,
Yeah.
and that's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Bird Eater, I think, is coming. It's
Oh, that's getting
it's been in cinemas.
It's a
and
local release, yeah.
It's like getting a proper release through like Umbrella or something.
Amazing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
that is
And
a
Emotion is Dead. I really want to see
Emotion
as well.
is Dead is also really good. That'll
Yeah.
be getting released towards the end of the year as well.
Fantastic. I'll
there
support
is
that.
there is I guess there is hope.
Yeah.
Like we are getting some
We need-
kind of
We need a small
Traction,
label.
yeah.
Like Umbrella's turned into a big company. We need more little labels
Yeah.
to like just put out little films.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
boutique,
So true.
like a boutique Australian label to make little boutique Blu-rays.
Well, I promise
Mm.
you, I'll do everything humanly possible to.
Honestly, even if
Yeah.
it's just like, if I was making a movie and I couldn't sell it, I would just have like what Louis C.K. used to do with his website.
Yeah,
Be like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
$15, download an MP4.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
true. Just to get it out there.
I mean, but he's rich. He was rich already. So it, like to him, he didn't really care if people ripped him off.
So
Yeah,
what
right.
I'll tell you is, Residents, it'll do well in the UK. It's Harold Bishop with zombies.
Mm.
Okay,
Well,
Neighbours
it's got-
is shown
it's got
twice
Shaun of
over
the-
there.
It's got Shaun of the Dead
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah, it'll do
Yeah.
so
That's
well.
Yeah,
how I
that's
was
it.
And Shaun of the Dead,
describing
yeah,
it
yeah.
too.
you already
well
have
said.
you already have the popular English talent. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kim Valentine as well.
Also,
Yeah, yeah.
Luke Benson's Tim is like right up that English comedy alley as well.
Yeah, so true.
That awkwardness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's amazing.
He's so
I love Kobe though. I love Harris, and I think he's amazing.
He is
Just
beautiful.
him having the rom-com kind of story.
Yeah.
I just love that. And then right at the end, you know, she's going, sing to me, you know.
Yeah.
Welcome to Scum Pizza.
I reckon he
Yeah,
had.
I
I
love
reckon
it.
he
He's-
had my favorite line in the film, or one of. My first favorite is when we're all about to go into battle, and the king's like, "Chookas, everyone!" Like that kills me, because chookas is what you say to everyone before you get on stage for theatre. And then my second favorite line is Kobe's line, where she's like, "I'm so cold," and he goes, "Should have worn a jumper." Like, it killed me. It's so funny.
I was going to get rid of that line.
No,
I'm so glad
I
didn't.
said it from the start. That is one of my favorite lines.
Oh,
in the
I just
film.
thought it was too. Yeah.
Nah.
No, okay.
Nah, so
yeah,
good.
look, it is. There is so many lines in there I absolutely love.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's as we got along. Like Ruby, who plays KJ, you know, she started ad-libbing. She knew the character back to front, and you did too in the kitchen scene. You know, and so did Harry there. And I'm going,
Yeah.
okay, this is great.
Yeah.
I love that. I love just the actors know their role so well, and they go, you know, they went for it. Got some really good lines out of it.
But it was lucky that we had that opportunity too, that we were in the environment where we could, because I've been
Yeah.
on sets where you don't get given that opportunity. So it was nice to have that creative control over your own character.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon we're running out of time.
Yeah,
probably.
sorry.
No, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Thank you guys so much again for coming on the show.
Thank
we're
you
still
for
on?
having us.
That's it. Haven't left yet.
Thank you guys for having us. I've been Matt.
I've been Jeanette.
All right.
No, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for having
We'll
us.
see you next week.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, everyone. You can catch the Tuesday Review on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, Blue Sky, Newsmast, and YouTube at Tuesday Review AU. We'll be back next week with more content. Thank you for listening, everyone. Adios, cousins.
The joy.